All right, Taylor, thank you again for your order. You got the Bullseye Kit, which is going to be your mounts, rings, cameras, the LED light strip that goes around to light up the ring, your laser oche throw line, keyboard with built-in touchpad. I personally use this one. I love it. And computer with AutoDarts preloaded. So I'm just going to boot that up so that we see what that looks like. In the meantime, I'm going to show you this light strip. You can loop it, loop it, loop it until you run out of lights, or just loop it until it makes one loop, cut it, make sure you're not cutting it when the power is on. That's all I did with mine. You don't need to have the additional light. If you'd like to have the additional light, there's more than enough light in here to cover your ring. You make that call yourself, but that's going to be your light. You can see over here your system boots up. It automatically hops into Firefox. Now, right now I have it just like restoring the last session. So this is just showing the config page. Since it hasn't been linked to your account yet, it's not fully set up. There is one bit of claiming this board that you'll have to do. I'll have instructions and YouTube videos and stuff that I'll send you that show you how to do this. But just so you can see that this is in fact working, your computer, your cameras, even got your service tag there ending in what looks like 8 in 2. You got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. So all your cameras are plugged in here. I will point out that a few of these ports have SS for super speed or like the faster USB. Try to have the cameras just plugged into those blue USB ports. I do have what's called like the UVC hack installed on this computer, which effectively makes it so that the cameras are not trying to take over the full bus width, bandwidth of what could be sent to the machine, because you've got 3 HD cameras streaming to a computer constantly watching for these darts. So this UVC hack is something that tries to make it so that it doesn't overload any of those USB buses and makes it just run a little bit smoother. So that's all set up. The thing that you will need to do, and again, this is going to be in the YouTube videos that I'll show you, you've got board ID and API key. You will have to populate and save those. That's something that you have to do that links this computer to your AutoDarts account. So this is basically installed, ready to go. Again, you'll have that final step to do on your own. Some of the other accessories that go with it. These are the 9 generic rings, where these are the 3 camera leg rings that specifically fit for those camera legs. You've got your ring gap covers so that the LED light that goes around the ring doesn't bleed through on any of the ring segments. So that's to make it look nice and clean and flush. These washers go in between each of these ring segments just for structure. You've got all the screws to get that stuff mounted together, slightly larger screws to get the camera legs mounted together. You're going to have a great setup. I think you're really going to like it. Can get into some of the details here. So I have this set so that Firefox boots, that it goes full screen, and that it should be loading AutoDarts each time. In case you ever needed to get out of this, though, it doesn't really lock you in to Firefox. Just for example, if you were to hit the command key here, what I have it plugged into, or on yours, it will just be the equivalent of the Windows key. Hit that, and you're able to close Firefox or do something else on the system. If you go back to Firefox again, you'll kind of be in kiosk mode. You don't have access to the menus, but you can close it and be using the computer like normal. I've got the username and password over here, so that way whenever you do need to do anything, that's effectively your admin credentials to do whatever you want. If you ever needed to change how this computer boots up, or the fact that AutoDarts loads automatically, if you just click your start button or hit the Windows key again and type start, this takes you to the startup applications. Hit that, and I just have Firefox listed as a startup program. If you go to edit, some of the things that I have in here, it's Firefox is the command, and the other parameters that get passed in there are kiosk, new instance, no restore, and what's the website that I'm trying to get it to load. The new instance and no restore help because every time this computer boots, Firefox sometimes will try to like restore the previous session while the computer is still booting. So maybe Wi-Fi is not fully enabled yet, maybe it's not online yet, but Firefox is already loading, trying to get you to their website, and then it will say, hey, I can't load your website. Do you want me to start a new session or restore? So these extra flags help skip that and force it to always do a new session, a new instance, and kind of makes it wait so that it does have an internet connection before it does anything. Just helps and make it a little bit smoother. I do have this computer configured for AC recovery, which means that should you guys lose power, or effectively you pull the power, plug it back in, like any technology that fixes most things, this computer will just power back up. So that in case you do have this mounted up high where it's hard to reach, and you can't get to that power button to power cycle it or get to anything to do that, you can just simply pull the power, put the power back in, it will reboot on its own. The computer's got a solid state, so in case you do ever have any problems with AutoDarts, if you needed to reboot the thing, it's about a 2 to 3 minute process. It's a pretty quick computer, even if it is older, just because I put the solid state in it to make it run faster. So I think you're going to be in a really good state. I know we had talked about some of the customizations you can do. That I will let you run with that on your own. I'll have some other videos showing how I do it personally, but I try to get you as good as you can go right out of the box. Whenever you launch Firefox, you will see that it just takes you straight to AutoDarts, and I put a couple of bookmarks on here, and just to make them a little bit easier to see, hopefully. You got Play AutoDarts taking you to the main login page, and then you have AutoDarts Local Board. AutoDarts Local Board, since AutoDarts is installed on here as a daemon running in the background, this is the interface for starting, stopping AutoDarts, calibrations, config. This is how you make any adjustments to that. That's all going to be through this website. So that's the daemon running on the back end. This is how you get to control it. If you ever have an issue to where you notice that some of the darts are not being registered like you think they should be, or they're being registered wrong, it doesn't happen often. What typically will happen is if you go here and go to vision, you'll see that 1 out of the 3 cameras has gone black. The USB bus has been overloaded, or whatever has happened. Effectively, if you just say stop and start, the system keeps going. You never even have to like stop your game. You can just really just start the camera analysis, and off you go. You're good to go. It's got calibration in here to where it can auto calibrate on its own. I rarely do anything where I'm manually overriding that. Same thing for distortion. Initially, I went down the rabbit hole of what does it take to do the distortion on here. It doesn't really make that big of a difference, so don't waste your time trying to do that. Rely on the auto calibration, trust the auto calibration, fine tune it if you want, but don't go down the distortion rabbit hole, not worth it. But yeah, you are basically ready to go. I'm going to be getting this stuff packed up and sent out to you. So thanks again for your order.